Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be several disarming phrases when trying to communicate with those who do not want to communicate with you, who do not want to understand you, who only want to communicate with you on terms that they understand, where they get their own way. And when dealing with narcissistic people, they always have to be in the right, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, if it doesn't match their perception, if it doesn't match their reality, if it doesn't match what they want from you, they are going to go all out to make you feel like you're in the wrong, to get you to change your mind to serve them. So one of the very first things you need to do when dealing with a narcissistic person is learn their patterns of behavior so that you can recognize exactly what they're trying to do to you, recognize their game, recognize their aim, and then no longer take it personally. Recognize that's who they are as a person. If at all possible, walk away. This isn't always possible, and when they're trying to shame you, humiliate you in front of other people, by walking away, we're usually the ones that look ignorant and look rude, which a narcissist will use to their advantage to smear our names, to gain enablers and flying monkeys onto their side. So sometimes we do need a reasonable comeback, which isn't offensive to them, and more of a method of staying in our reality. It's not particularly to get at them. How you get at a narcissist is by giving them no attention. How you get to those people who require excessive attention and who are extremely envious of others is by going to live your best life for you, by going to do all those things they tell you you cannot do, and by removing your attention away from them. However, with those who lack empathy, you do need to be careful because they will seek to destroy your successes. So here are a few phrases to use when a narcissist is coming at you. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, then please do subscribe. So when a narcissist accuses you of intentions you do not have, when they ask you to do something for them and you say no because it's inconvenient to you or because it goes against your values and your beliefs, and they accuse you of being awkward, or when you go to discuss something that needs discussing with them, where you need that two-way conversation flow to come to some form of mutual agreement or mutual arrangement, and they accuse you of being the awkward one, they accuse you of causing the argument because they don't want to compromise with you, they don't want to communicate with you, they want to get their own way with you. So when they accuse you of being awkward, you just simply need to turn around and say, how you think isn't my responsibility, because it's not your responsibility. If they believe you're being awkward, then they believe that you're being awkward. It's not down to you to prove them otherwise by changing your mind to serve them. It's down to you to do what's right for you. If they believe you're causing an argument, they believe you're causing an argument. And by saying to them, how you think isn't my responsibility, because it isn't your responsibility, that's on them. They want you to believe you're causing an argument, so you stop the conversation in its tracks, so that you take responsibility for not coming to a mutual agreement, and they can get away with their behaviour. When a narcissist is gaslighting you, when they're coming at you saying you have trust issues, you're jealous, you're insecure, just turn around and say, that's possible. Because more often than not, with a narcissistic person, When they feel like they're not getting the attention from you that they believe they're entitled to, they will provoke feelings of jealousy within you. So usually it's most likely that you are having these feelings being provoked in you by them. And because you're unsure of these feelings, you go to discuss it with them because you care about them and believe that they care about you. Yet when you go to discuss it with them, they don't make you feel better, they make you feel worse, and they accuse you of having feelings that you did not have before they provoke those feelings within you. So when they're accusing you of being jealous, just turn around and say, oh, that's possible. And then go and think of, why am I feeling jealous? What happened? What was the lead up? Are they creating an environment where I feel insecure? Are they creating an environment of instability? Are they creating an environment of fear? And are they then passing the blame on to me? So yes, it's possible I feel jealous. Therefore, I need to remove myself from the situation. Sometimes when dealing with narcissistic people, we need to remove ourselves from the equation by moving ourselves away from the conversation so we can sit with our own thoughts, but in a positive way. Not self-blame that serves the narcissist, but taking responsibility for how our communication with them works against us. When the narcissist is trying to guilt trip you, when you set a boundary that you don't have time to do something, or it goes against your belief system, if you were to say, yes, it works against you, it works against who you are as a person. So you say no to the narcissist and they turn around and say, if you loved me, you would. To guilt trip you, to make you think, well, they don't think I care, perhaps I ought to do this so that they think I care. This is when you need to turn around and say something such as, I'm sorry you feel that way. Because you are sorry they feel that way. This is genuine. You're sorry they feel that way. You care about them. Because them saying to you, if you loved me, you would, is getting you to question your no and turn it into a yes to serve them because you care about their feelings. So by saying, I'm sorry you feel that way, you're acknowledging their feelings. You're sorry they feel that way. However, you're recognizing that that guilt trip is on them, not you. Narcissistic people will go out and hurt your feelings. They will provoke jealousy within you. And then when you go to communicate the feelings they've provoked within you, they will then turn around to you and say, I'm sorry you feel that way. When they're not sorry you feel that way, they're sorry that you're questioning them and they want to shut the conversation down so that they don't have to be responsible for what they're doing to you. When a narcissist projects, narcissistic people would rather impress a stranger than care for their own family. When you're out and about with them, they can be very friendly, very charismatic, very charming, very jovial. They can be the life and the soul of the party, and they can treat people with the utmost respect, and they can come across as genuine, really nice, really caring people, really helpful people. Then in the home, behind closed doors, they are completely different. Now, you might have something planned which a narcissist doesn't want you to do because that's serving you and not the narcissist, who feels entitled to come first in your life. So they might then say, hey, can you come and have a look at this email with me? It's really important. And you can say, no, you know I've got to go out. I will have a look later when I get back. And they can turn around to you and say, oh, I wish you could be nice to me like you're nice to people when we're out and about. And you can be gobsmacked. You can be dumbfounded that, no, this is how you behave when we're, and that's it, recognizing that is how they behave, and they are projecting that onto you to try and make you feel bad, to try and shame you into doing what they want you to do. And when they're projecting, when they're accusing you of the very thing they're doing to you, just turn around and say, that's interesting. Because it is quite interesting when you really think about it. It's very interesting that they themselves don't find that behaviour wrong, yet they'll happily project that behaviour out onto you. You can have a type 1 narcissist that will exploit people financially, and they can have a family member that is your family member that depends on you, and they can accuse that family member of being a freeloader. Now, they might be a dependent on you, they might be a young child, they might be a teenage child that the narcissist is accusing of being a freeloader, and the narcissist will project this out onto that person. The narcissist will accuse that person of going somewhere with you for the free meal, and then the narcissist will sit there huddled in a corner with a free meal that you paid for, accusing the other person. So when they turn around and say you're just a freeloader, you've only come for the free meal, just turn around and say, that's interesting, because it is. That's who they are. They are wired up differently. When a narcissist is triangulating with things such as nobody likes you, they think this about you, just simply turn around and say, okay, sort of agreeing with them without actually agreeing with them. You're trying to stop the conversation. Just say, okay, and leave them to it. If you want to take it a step further, when you're with the other person that they're saying or claiming does not like you, just say in front of both, they've said you don't like me. What's happening? What have I done to offend you? And you can see by the narcissist's reaction and the other person's reaction who is lying and who is telling the truth. Most people don't feel comfortable with this, but when you're dealing with a narcissistic person, recognize that 9 times out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, they are smearing your name to the other person. So when you speak to the other person, they look at you differently. The narcissist might be smearing the other person's name to you. So when they're turning around saying they don't like you, just okay. In a lot of situations with a narcissist, when they're saying, I don't want to argue with you, you're jealous, you're insecure, whatever it is they're gaslighting you with or projecting out onto you with, one surefire way to shut down the conversation is by just saying okay and leaving them to their thought process, leaving them to their reality, while you go and figure out your own knot around them, away from them, because they're planting those seeds of doubt within your mind. You have to distance yourself from those who create that negativity within your mindset, so that you can find yourself, so that you can find your thought process, so that you can find your positivity, so that you can do the things you enjoy. Which is when a narcissist is trying to invalidate you. When a narcissist says to you, what are you wearing that for? That outfit's a little bit different. No, I wouldn't do that if I was you. What do you think they would think if you didn't? No, you're not capable of doing something like that. When they're invalidating who you are as a person, one response is, that's your opinion of me. Because that is their opinion of you, and they're entitled to their opinion, and you're entitled to go and prove them wrong. You're entitled to wear what you feel comfortable in, not what another person judges your appearance as. It's what you feel comfortable in, because more often than not, those who are putting you down on your appearance, they might do it in a manner where it seems like they care, but it's usually because they're jealous of you, they're envious of you, they want to change who you are to fit in with who they are, rather than recognizing you for who you are as a person. And because you care about them, you change who you are to serve them, to suit them, not realizing what they're doing to you. So recognize that, yes, that's their opinion, but their opinion does not define who you are as a person. You define who you are. When a narcissist is gaslighting, when they're twisting the story, when they're coming at you saying, you never told me that, you never said that, I told you last week, how can you not remember? That never happened. When they are gaslighting your reality, turn around and say, we remember things differently. When it comes to we remember things differently, you have your version of events that happened. Another person has their version of events that happened. We can all live the same experience, but how it affects our emotions from our past to our present, we are all capable of remembering things differently. So there's nothing wrong with saying that. With a narcissist, they want to gaslight you into taking their word for it. This is where you've got to distance and recognize that that is their perception. That is their perception of reality. That is on them. It's not the same as yours. And stay in your own lane. Leave them to go wandering off in their own while you go and create a much happier life for you. Remember to recognize the game they are playing. It's very difficult because narcissistic people will personally attack you. They'll attack your character. They'll attack your hobbies. They'll attack your family. They will personally attack you. So it's very difficult, but you have to step away and not take it personally. Recognize the behavior as on them, not you. Any phrases you say back to them are to help you recognize that it's possible, but it's not 100% true. There's more to the background. Or, yeah, that's your opinion. However, it's not mine. And remember, the best way to deal with a narcissist is don't. Leave them to their life. Go no contact. Don't give them any form of attention and go and live your best life. No, it's not easy, but it is worth it. If you're looking for further information and understanding and help overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I shall add into the description the video on the narcissist gaslighting and the narcissist projection, which explains more on those. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.